Hello, friends. Welcome back. A few weeks ago, Taylor Swift appeared on the New Heights podcast, and she doesn't do a lot of interviews and she doesn't do podcasts. But this one was special because New Heights is the podcast by her now fiance, Travis Kelce, and his brother, Jason Kelce. And I don't listen to that podcast because I don't do sports ball. But I put that podcast on my list of things to watch because Taylor Swift is pop culture, and that's what I like to cover on this. And I know in the coming months and year, I'm going to have to talk about it. So I wrote down a few thoughts before I watched it and before I watched any other content that has started to trickle in. I think the album actually drops in October, maybe October 3rd or October 13th or something like that. I know she does a lot of lore, so the date is going to be significant in some way. But it's called Life of a Showgirl. After the oversaturation of seeing her face everywhere and the Eras Tour, and concluded with her last album, The Tortured Poets Society, it was nice to have a break from seeing her face everywhere or hearing all the NPCs goo-gooing over how great of an artist she is or how great of a songwriter she is. But it was inevitable that she would return, and now she's back. And new album right around the corner. Newly engaged to Travis Kelce. And sure, I'm highly critical because she is the biggest artist in the world. And she needs the criticism because, in my opinion, her talent isn't quite equal to her success. If you know what I mean. She's no better than any number of attractive Nashville female singer-songwriters or thousands of female singer-songwriters across the country that put their 8th grade poetry to the same 4 chords that they learned when they were 14 years old. There's thousands of those girls across the country. They're inspired directly by her, good or bad. But I'm not just going to be a locomotive on the hate train. See, my opinion of Taylor Swift and her music is complicated because I feel an obligation to balance out the sycophants and hold her feet to the fire as an artist and as a musician. But I also know she has a good heart and a good head on her shoulders, and she's pretty grounded for the level that she's risen to. And I think she's careful with her image and her branding, but is not afraid to stand up to authoritarianism. And she's not so dumb to publicly trash the right, but she does do a good job balancing her political agenda without abandoning her roots too much. After navigating that rough period of being the victim, then the villain, both ironically at the instigation of that Nazi rapper guy, and feuds with other pop divas throughout her career, she's learned to be fearless in how to deal with bullies without becoming one, and how to weather the fallout from controversy. So I'm looking forward to watching all the meathead alpha males and MAGA Fox Force 5 heads explode again, trying to take her down. because she's pretty bulletproof on that front. I'm amused by how triggered she gets them because Dear Orange Leader doesn't like her because she won't kiss the ring. The last time was kind of comical how easily debunked some of their right-wing conspiracy theories were. Somehow she's ruined football by dating a star football player and showing up to games. And of course, they're going to give her a little bit of attention. The more it happens, the less they're going to put her on the Jumbotron, the less we're going to see her on TV. But she's a star at a football game. It's a big pop culture thing of those being together. So you're going to see her at football games. She has calculatably raised the revenue of the NFL by at least $300 million just by being at those games. And Travis Kelce's jersey sales spiked when they started dating to over 600%. So I'm going to guess that going forward, my future commentary on Taylor Swift will be about 70% on her songs and artistry, and about 20% on the celebrity and her personality, and about 10% on the political stuff. But that could change because President Dum Dum doesn't like it when everything isn't solely about him. So expect tweets or truth social crap. She's definitely going to trigger him more, and all his sycophants will fall in line. So all that being said, Taylor Swift likes to leave a lot of Easter eggs and lore and trail bait and clickbait for her fans to follow. So the only thing I know about the new album so far is that the color is orange and has something, and there's something to do with the number 12, I think. And Sabrina Carpenter is a guest on one song, and I think that's the only guest appearance. Most of it is produced by her regular producers, Jack Antonoff and Max Martin, and so I expect some electronic stuff and some more poppy stuff. Life of a Showgirl is the name of it. So I expect some more flamboyant, like theatrical stuff, as opposed to a lot of the more introspective, like the journal pop and stuff that she did on the last album and on her lockdown pandemic albums, the Folklore and Everlore, whatever it was called. And it's interesting that she's got Sabrina Carpenter on this album, because when she fell off after the last album, Sabrina Carpenter kind of took over and has held the top main pop girl spot for this whole year or so. And she was her opening act on a lot of the Eras Tour. And so she kind of passed the torch to Sabrina Carpenter, and now Sabrina Carpenter will pass the torch back to her, which is probably pretty good, because I'm getting a little sick of seeing her too, but I don't think she's going anywhere because she just released her new album, so that's neither here nor there. So now I'm going to go watch that New Heights podcast with Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce, and I'll tweak my thoughts and get back to you with any updates. So subscribe and leave me a comment about what you think about Taylor Swift or about this new album or about anything else you want to talk about. I'll talk to you later.